today let us see female reproductive system. So which is the primary sex organ in female reproductive system? A pair of ovary. See, I have drawn just only one side. This side also one ovary is present. So a pair of ovary is the primary sex organ of female reproductive system. See, both the ovaries are located on which cavity? No, abdominal cavity in the ovarian fossa. Then each ovary is attached to the posterior layer of broad ligament with the help of mesovarium. How the ovary is attached? With the help of mesovarium. Mesovarium is nothing, it's the peritoneal ligament. It's a short fold of peritoneum. What is mesovarium? It's a short fold of peritoneum, and through this only vessels and blood vessels and nerves enters into the ovary. Through mesovarium, blood vessels and nerves enters into the ovary. This mesovarium is a short fold of peritoneum. So the primary sex organ are ovaries, and what is the secondary sex organ? That is one pair, here one fallopian tube and here one fallopian tube. So one pair of fallopian tube, one uterus and one vagina. These are the secondary sexual organ. See, you see this fallopian tube, the lateral end of the fallopian tube ends in a funnel shaped structure that is called as what? Infundibulum. That is called as what? Infundibulum. At the terminal end of the infundibulum, you can see fimbriated. It is what it is. It possesses fimbriae. Okay, and which opens into the peritoneal cavity, and this is having opening, and this opening is called as ostium. This ostium opens into the peritoneal cavity, and medial to the infundibulum there is a bulging portion. This is called as what? Ampulla. Very important. This is a thin walled and dilated part where what takes place? Fertilization takes place. Very important. Where fertilization takes place? Ampullae. Ampullae part only fertilization takes place. And the next one, the part medial to ampulla is called as what? Isthmus. Then next, the most medial part of this tube is situated in the uterus is called as what? Intramural or interstitial part of tube. Okay, then during ovulation, this ova is released into the peritoneal cavity. See, this ova is released into the peritoneal cavity. So, due to this, the egg is called a coelomic egg. This egg is called as what? Coelomic egg. Next, we will see about the uterus. The most developed form of the uterus is made from complete fusion of both uterus that takes place during embryonic development. And what is the shape of the uterus? It is inverted pear shaped. The upper expanded part of the uterus is called as body or fundus of the uterus, and the lower cylindrical part is called as what? Cervix. The next one is, on the internal surface of the cervix, there are two types of constrictions are found. That is called as os cervix. See, the body of the uterus communicates with the cervix through opening called internal os. And then the cervix communicates with the vagina by means of external os. Since the vagina is the copulatory organ. Next, we will see histology of uterus and fallopian tube. Next, we will see histology of uterus and fallopian tube. First one is serosa or the adventitia. This is the outermost layer of visceral peritoneum, and it is called as perimetrium. Perimetrium. And the second layer is muscle layer. See, in uterus, thick smooth muscle bundles are found, and these are called as myometrium. And the third one is mucous membrane. This is the innermost layer, and this mucosa consists of simple columnar epithelium. These epithelium contains both cells, what are ciliated cells, and also what cells? No, secretory cells. Ciliated cells and secretory cells. The secretory cells produce viscous liquid. viscous liquid. This provides nutrition and also protects the ovum. And the mucosa of uterus is called as endometrium. The mucosa of uterus is called as what? Endometrium. Endometrium. These endometrium contain tubular glands. These contain tubular glands. Then many fibroblast and also blood vessels where the embryo attached to the uterus, it attached to the endometrium. The embryo attached to the endometrium. Next one we will see vulva. What is vulva? It's external genitalia of female. What are the parts found in vulva? You can see mons veneris, then labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, then vestibule, unrelated peritoneum. First we will see mons veneris. Mons veneris is otherwise called as mons pubis also. Mons veneris or mons pubis. It's made up of subcutaneous connective tissue. It lies in front of pubis and is covered by pubic hair in adult female. Next one is labia majora. This vulva is bounded on each side by the elevation and folds of skin. This is also composed of subcutaneous tissue, and the inner surface of labia majora is hairless. But the outer surface, it is covered by what gland? No? Sebaceous gland, sweat gland, and hair follicles. This labia majora is homologous with the scrotum in male. It is homologous with the scrotum in male. The next one we'll see labia minora. This is also a thin fold of skin, two thin fold of skin present just within the labia majora பக்கத்திலே இருக்கும். The lower portion of minora it fuses across the middle line and form a fold skin called fourchette. The next one is clitoris. What is clitoris? It's a small cylindrical and erectile body made by fusion of labia minora. See, this clitoris is formed by the fusion of two labia minora. And how is the clitoris? A small cylindrical and erectile body. And where it is situated? The most anterior part of vulva. And it is also made up of two erectile bodies. That is already we have seen in male also. That is corpora cavernosa. Okay, and the skin which covers the glands of clitoris is called as prepuce. And the skin which covers the glands of clitoris is called as what? Prepuce. And the terminal part of the vagina, the urethra opens what? Separately. So they form a common chamber called a vaginal vestibule. How the vagina opens outside? Through a slit-like aperture or triangular space called vestibule. How the vagina opens outside? Through a slit-like aperture or a triangular space called vestibule. The vulva has the following openings. Next we will see the openings of vulva. Urethral opening, which is present on the anterior end. Then a vaginal opening, which is present on the posterior end. This vaginal opening is incompletely closed by a septum that is made up of mucous membrane called hymen. That is called as what? Hymen. See, the hymen may be torn during the first coitus. However, It may be torn by means of sudden fall or that is or active participation in sports. Okay. Next one is opening of Bartholin duct. These are the opening of one pair of Bartholin or the Bartholin gland is otherwise called as great vestibular glands, which is situated on the lateral side of the vagina. These Bartholin glands secrete alkaline fluid during sexual excitement. You see breast. The mammary glands are paired structures that contain glandular tissue and also variable amount of fat is present. See, the glandular tissue of each breast, it is divided into 50 to 20 mammary lobes. These mammary lobes contain clusters of cells called alveoli or acini. See, the cells of alveoli only secrete water, milk, and it is stored in the cavity that is called the alveoli cavity. Then the alveoli opens into mammary tubules, and these mammary tubules join to form mammary duct. These tubules join to form mammary duct, and several mammary ducts join to form mammary ampullae. Several mammary ducts joins to form mammary ampullae. The next one is this mammary ampullae is connected to what duct? No, lactiferous duct. Lactiferous duct, which this lactiferous duct opens on the surface of nipple. It opens on the surface of nipple. See how many mammary duct? No, one mammary duct, one mammary ampullae, and one lactiferous duct. The next one is this mammary glands produce a nutritive fluid that is called as what? Milk. This milk nourishes the young ones, and also the milk protects the young ones from various infections up to how many some months after birth. And the mammary glands of the female, when it undergoes differentiation, during which time? No, pregnancy time. And when it starts producing milk, that is after giving birth, it starts producing milk, and that process is called as what? Lactation. And this helps the mother to feed the newborn. Breastfeeding during pregnancy, that is the initial period of infant growth, it's recommended by the doctor because it protects from the infectious diseases from the young ones. The next one is the longest unstriped muscle of the body found in the wall of the uterus. During pregnancy time, the longest unstriped muscles of the body are found in the wall of the uterus. Then next, clitoris is homologous to the penis in male. So, which is homologous to the penis? Clitoris. Then Bartholin gland is homologous to Cowper's gland of male. Bartholin gland is homologous to Cowper's gland of male. Function of mammary gland is the characteristic feature of all female mammals. See, the milk produced during the initial days, few days of lactation, அதாவது குழந்தை பிறந்த பிறகு ஒரு few daysக்கு வர மில்கை வந்து என்ன சொல்லுவோம்னா கொலஸ்ட்ரம் சொல்லுவோம். What is that? Colostrum. இதில் வந்து என்ன ஆன்டிபாடி இருக்குது அப்படின்னா IgA. That is, this give resistance to the newborn babies against diseases. That's all today. Thank you.